If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I could lay down beside you, I would.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. So my name is Norma Odidi and this is
Yehuda Odidi.
And together we are there.
The
Odidi. See how this thing is sweeting me. So we just celebrated our 2 year. Is it 2 years or 2 years?
2 years don't work out. Studio. Nobody. You say I don't know how to dance. I don't know what they're talking about.
Anyway, while we contemplate that in our hearts, 4 days ago we celebrated our 2-year wedding anniversary, and of course, we just had to do a video. I insisted that we do a video.
Say what?
I should not say that I insisted.
Did I resist?
Okay, and so we just decided, to make a video about it where we just talk about our experience so far. Just talk about the journey so far. I don't know. I'm just so excited, like the journey so far.
See, marrying in December is sweet. It's good.
Honestly, it's good to marry in December.
The end of the year.
Yes, Christmas. Oh my goodness, like holiday. You're not going to work. You're not marrying. Then after marriage, you are going back to work. I just feel like that's not a good. I don't know. Just the thought of it, I don't like it. I don't know why. Even if, of course, they'll give you time for your honeymoon, but they're just something about holiday.
Are working jobs that observe Christmas.
Actually, you are right. Yeah. Yes, for those, yes. All right. So, first question that I have for you, for us, how has marriage been so far? How has marriage been?
Now, I have to tell you that. What were my expectations of marriage before I got into marriage?
I don't know. I'm just excited. Yes, I'm listening.
See, I won't lie. I came into marriage with confidence, not overconfidence, but because I'd learned so much, about marriage.
Yeah.
And so I just knew that as we would enter this thing, we're not a train. We're not climbing rocky mountains and hilly valleys. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, but basically, I'm not saying we're not entering with no challenge. I'm saying that, there was that popular opinion that, the first year of marriage is terrible. In fact, the first few years. And I was just like, nah, God helped us to lay a very solid groundwork, solid foundation. Before stepping in. So all that just to say that, the first 2 years have proven me right. Do you understand?
Yes.
We have not had to...
Permit me to just be clear. Yes, in case you don't know, one of my husband's strong points is confidence.
Okay.
Confidence. Continue, please.
Okay. So, when people say you can never really know a person until and when you enter marriage they change, they show their real color. I'm like, maybe because in the dating phase they didn't spend enough time really getting to know each other, really quality conversations and all that. So it's been wonderful. I've enjoyed having you with me as my companion, my life buddy. My life companion, there are depths of things I've just enjoyed and learned, with you. 2 years, so much has been happening and is still happening, and I'm just blessed. I'm blessed. Yeah.
Which is funny, while you spoke about how you were very confident before we got married, me, I was scared.
That seems annoying. I was just like, come. No, be me and you do this thing together. What are you afraid of?
I don't know. I just think maybe because of what I had heard,
yeah, true.
from like individuals, and I don't know where I just had the notion from. Yes,
opinion.
popular. This is so. I just had this fear, which is so surprising because I would think that with the kind of fear I had, fear about the future, you would think that I would not want to get married, but I still wanted to take that leap because for me, I felt like marriage was going to be a step of faith for me, a leap of faith, I was scared that, oh my God, what if I get married to this man and then after the wedding, you just maybe change, become a monster. Yes, like he will unleash his true self, his true potential.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that was my fear. And then, oh my God, I got into marriage with that mindset. So literally every day, I'm always checking you. Like, I don't know how to put it. I'm always watching. Like, okay, when do you unleash? Yes. At what point do you stop loving
for the
me?
symptoms and the signs to show that he's beginning to change.
Yes. At what point do you stop loving me? And I'll always be looking out for that. So it was like I was trying to prepare myself for when that will happen. Like I'll be taking in. Of course, I do love watching marriage content, relationship content, But it was almost as if I was also watching it and learning about it so that I'll fortify myself for. I'm like, wow, I can't be like for the time when you show me your true colors and things like that, But to say how marriage.
So, in 2 years of marriage, how has that been?
How has that been?
Yeah, I mean, like in regards
to my fear, I thank God that my fear did not come to pass.
Shout to that fear. Shout to that fear.
Of course, not to say that we've not had times that we disagreed,
Of course, we've had our
moments.
Our moments. We've had like hurdles. We've had disagreements. We've had conflicts.
We've had conflicts. Yes.
In fact, see, I was just thinking that, can you believe it? Like, of all the conflicts, one of the very first conflicts we had was, you will not believe it, the stereotypical and typical toothpaste conflict.
Really? Was that the first conflict we had?
I said one of the first.
Okay. I thought that over toothpaste.
No, not like serious fight, but it was it was at first, at that time, it was very irritating.
I
found
don't know.
I didn't know that because I always like allow you to have your way, but I was like, no, like this doesn't make sense. You press toothpaste from here, not from there. And I was like, no, this cannot be real. Like they talk about these things and it's such a boring joke, and I was like, no, this cannot be real.
Me, I was just there doing my own thing. I know you've experienced that. Babe, press it from here, but I didn't really take it seriously. But I thank God. What I'm very grateful for is that at the end of the day, I love. I'm already skipping to the next level. But what I love that, at the end of the day, you are willing to put in the work and the effort. That was one of the things that I would like. That was one of the things I appreciated about you before we're dating. Even from the conversation. While we're dating, before we're married.
Okay.
While we're dating, I remember. I think I had asked you the question like, "What will you do if you stop having feelings for me or something like that?" Yes, So your answer. No. My husband is proud. He's very proud.
Paul said, "This to me by no
He's
man."
so proud. God, see, what you would need to help me and join my plan. We need to bring a spirit of humility.
I know what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Tell them we are joking.
When it comes to dealing with human beings, like other people, you are not proud.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, baby. See something, Pepe, like you are not proud.
You are telling them what it is. Mula.
You are not proud. Okay. When it comes to dealing with people, like other people,
she means I'm not proud towards people.
No, you are not proud towards people.
About myself.
Yes, how I say is overconfident.
No pride. I see. You see, I boast in Christ. Like I'm boasting in the work of God.
Me,
like I said,
my own stance is a stance of humility.
It's
like
God that taught me.
I will not want to
in the work
acknowledge.
of God. Like, see, no. That's why I said, now God give you. Like, no.
What was I even saying before you started? Okay, I was saying that. What was I saying? I was saying that his answer, your answer, and the way you responded to me and the things that you said, I like it calmed my fear about.
Mind,
I was convinced that you knew the principle of making love work.
Thank you.
That you
the
knew.
Man knows.
You knew what
No,
will produce the feelings. So that was what calmed me down and settled me. Yes, and that's why even on our wedding night and the whole thing that happened. Go and check out our wedding night video. That's why when you told me, you said that you thought that I would be like, oh, you deceived me and everything.
Yeah.
I wasn't scared, And because we entered the marriage with the knowledge of friendship, so I don't know, I just wasn't bothered with. Yeah. So your response convinced me that you knew how to make love work, and I'm grateful that you have shown that, in these 2 years, Marriage has been great, has been good by God's grace, Yeah. It has been good, and we're definitely looking forward to like more and greater things and better things.
Definitely.
Yes, it's not without its challenges, but I've loved the journey so far.
Like it's always popularly and correctly said, marriage is hard work.
Yes, it is. Which leads me to my next question.
Sorry, I'm smiling.
I want us to talk about, that love language you have said we'll talk about. I just want us to just talk about it. One of the things. See, I'm a firm believer. I say this a lot. That marriage doesn't change people. Like the core. Yes, true. At your core, And actually, I think I want to revise that statement. Marriage doesn't change people, although God can. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Although it may take years, and do you understand why I'm saying this? It may take time, yes, and so don't marry someone with the mindset that you're going to change them. However, people evolve. People can change.
Yeah.
So one of the things, oh my goodness, 2 things about this young man beside me that have stood out, that have popped in this 2nd year of marriage. Number 1, physical intimacy. Number 2, love language. Even about myself, love language. But he just showed me, forget that thing you used to hear. It's not a myth, guys. It's not a legend. It is true when it comes to men and physical intimacy. Wow. It's not the legend of Melly, it's real. I feel like it really showed forth itself very much in this 2nd year.
First year we were.
Yeah, first year we were just chilling.
Just running.
What is 2nd year?
We don't buy the car.
I'm like,
you don't buy market.
I'm like, hey, whoa.
Okay.
Yes, and then the 2nd one which I want to talk about is love language. I would like for us to talk about how we've noticed our love language change and the impact of love, why love languages are important, and basically why love languages are important and the impact. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
How am I supposed to keep that short? That's supposed to be like a whole video on its own.
You can't do this. You have it in you. You have it in you, baby.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So basically,
this video is gonna be a long one, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yes.
So love languages are the way that a person desires to be loved, or the way a person experiences love.
Yeah.
Okay, and desires to experience love.
Yeah.
So, for example, I may buy you gifts because to me, gifts mean everything. So I assume it will mean everything to you, but that's not really your thing.
Yeah.
What means everything to you is words of affirmation. Like when I compliment you and say, "Wow, you look good. I love your dress fashion, your fashion sense. Your sense of fashion." And that comment would mean everything to you, But here I am thinking that it's gifts, that would mean everything to you. So the 5 love languages.
Yeah.
Quality time, physical touch, acts of service, words of affirmation, and
Receiving
gifts.
gifts. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So when we got married, even while we're dating, we took the test. In fact, twice, at least twice. Because I even feel it was more than.
My lips are getting chapped.
your lips chapped. So sorry, I didn't come with your chappet.
That's okay. Let's keep going.
Okay, we took the test, and we realized that okay, we shared similar. Our primary love languages were quality time. Quality time. And during our first year of marriage, we did not have an issue with that. Yeah, the quality time thing. Like, we both enjoyed spending time with each other, and even till now, despite everything, I still love spending time with you. Forget everything.
Yeah, despite everything.
Yeah.
You soon find out everything.
Yeah.
You just say they as if one big nothing happened.
Oh,
Just,
okay. I thought you were talking to me.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So, and then we just began to notice. One of the things that Gary Chapman said is that how you know that something about someone's love language is what do they complain frequently about. Like, what's that thing, point of pain? That's one of the ways you can tell what someone's love language is. So the first thing we learned about love language is that, like, for this second year of marriage, is that your love language can change.
Exactly.
Yes.
Things your love language can change. Like, things can make them change. Circumstances, events. Yeah. And one of them is marriage. Marriage can make your love language change.
Yeah.
For example, because we were both, like, practicing, what was it called?
Abstinence.
Waiting until marriage.
Yeah.
One of the wise steps we had to take was to cut off physical touch.
Yeah.
Because that just inflames
Inflames
desire.
the
It just
desire.
makes you burn with passion all the more. So we had to say, you know what? Let's just not, like, make our skin know they even touch.
Yeah.
Let's just talk.
Yeah.
I sit on my side of the chair, you sit on your side, and all of that. No hugs, no, not necessary, whatever.
Maybe that'll be a video for another day.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, as such, one of my second.
Your secondary love language.
Yeah, my secondary love language was
physical touch.
But
Likewise.
because we're trying, likewise her. But because we're trying to be, maintain ourselves in purity, we couldn't really explore that. So it was just there. But now that we got married, you have the liberty to, like, explore, and release and unleash.
Yeah.
So mine just showed itself that up here. It went through the roof.
Yeah.
What about you?
And for me, which is so funny, because when we got married, I was so convinced that, in fact, physical touch was competing with quality time for me. But then, as we said, circumstances, one of the things is that as you grow as a person, as you evolve, what you used to prefer can begin to change. And for me, I became more active on this space on YouTube. That I started my YouTube channel last year, November. And my passion for putting out content on YouTube began to grow, and things like that. And guess what? It began to began to affect my love language or what. Basically, my goals, not even just the fact that I was putting out, not even just the fact that I was putting out. Goals, I had new goals.
New, like, dreams.
New visions. Yes, I was just in this space of goals. My husband made a joke.
Things to do and that you wanted to do.
My husband made a joke recently that my love language is destiny. And I laughed so much, but and so, and then he just taking note of it. I'm like, oh, babe, time.
Yeah, she became much, much more driven.
Yes.
More focused. That makes sense.
Yes. And guess what? I began to notice that I started favoring other things more. So the things that now matter to me more were if he would maybe help me with certain task, or do something together with me. Do you get? Or like those were the things that started to mean love to me. Do you understand? Those were the things that started to make me feel supported. Like, oh, when you do this with me, do you understand? It's even now I'm saying that it's clicking more and more. Saying those were the things I began to interpret as, oh, you love me, or do you get?
As acts of love.
Acts of love for me, So my own love language too was now began to change, because as a person I was evolving. and growing.
Yeah.
Do you get So it was kind of
it seemed as if like acts of service started overtaking quality time.
Quality
And
time.
quality time started giving way for acts of service.
and
a
physical
bit,
touch was just no, I still the things
I think you're
I'm
still a
still a
physical
physical
touch
touch person actually, yes.
Physical touch is still your number
It's
two.
still
It's still there.
it's still there.
Yeah,
Even
woman.
quality time like
Quality time
that
is still
is
there,
still
just
there.
that,
It's just
like,
that
It's not. Well, I don't know if I'll say if it's not as much as it used to be before.
yeah.
That's why I put it that way. That acts of service is overtaking.
Yes,
I think
acts of service
that
overtaking.
captures it
Yes,
well.
so that has been one of the things that has stood out to us. And I just want to put it out there that it's important for you as a couple. Whether you're dating or engaged or married or whatever, it's important for you to know your partner's love language, because that's how they'll feel loved. And I've heard so many stories about couples, like married couples, for example. Let's say the woman, her love language is quality time, and then as a man, the man thinks that he's loving his wife by making money and buying her stuff or providing for her, and she's complaining, oh, you're not spending time with me, you're not doing. She's feeling lonely, and he's like, I'm doing all this because I've heard that a lot. I'm doing all this for you. Do you understand? Realize that it's not as if she doesn't appreciate the things that you are doing. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's just that that's not her love language. That's not the language she speaks.
That means love to her. That's not
Yes.
what makes her feel loved.
Yes, so it's very important.
Because like it can begin to build up negative feelings of anger, hurt, resentment, bitterness, towards your partner when it feels like you're being ignored, your needs, your desires. And even when you communicate such and it feels like it's being ignored. Whereas this person may not have understood that and they're trying harder just in the wrong department.
Yeah.
It's like, look, if you are working, anyhow, whatever. So try harder in the right departments, okay?
Yeah.
In the right area. Put your efforts into the right place. Don't listen to yourself. Listen to your partner. What do they say they want? Then do just that. What do they need? So it's not, you're not loving yourself.
Yeah.
Your tendencies are that you love them according to your own love language, the way you want to be loved, the way you like to be loved. But it's not you that is receiving, they are the recipients. So love them the way they want. Now them know as they do them. So follow their advice. Sorry, my international audience. Pidgin is a fast rising Nigerian language. I think Google Translate should have that in their database. So that was Pidgin I was speaking. Welcome to Afro.
Welcome to Afro. For me, one of the best takeaways for me this year, regarding marriage and life in general, is celebrate your reality, celebrate your life, celebrate what is yours, don't chook eye. What it means is stop looking at what other people are doing, or what is going on for them, or what they are achieving, or how their relationship go, whatever, focus on your own. For me, that has really helped me. It's still helping me. I'm still asking God for the grace to continue. It has really helped me a lot. The grass is green. The grass is not greener on the other side. If it looks greener on the other side, it's because there are people who are putting in the work. Your neighbor probably has a gardener, probably two gardeners, who are tending to the distance. So
that's because your neighbor is putting in the effort to water his grass.
Yes, he's putting in the effort to water his grass. So put in the effort to water your own grass.
Although I don't know why anybody will be watering grass. Are you not supposed to be cutting that thing?
It's carpet grass. You want to use it as carpet grass.
Where? No, it's okay. Carpet grass.
So that has.
Who not like grass? I mean, people don't like grass. I like pavement.
I feel like I said there were two
I like
takeaways
grass
for me.
in the football field.
I feel like I was
what's
saying.
The second one?
I think maybe it's 2 in 1. Basically, I think it's 2 in 1. Celebrate and avoid comparison. Like basically. Celebrate even when things don't look perfect, like look for whatever it is you have. I don't know how to put it.
Stay focused on the positives.
Exactly, I think that's it. stay focused on the positive. That's it. That's just, you have helped me to word it perfectly. So I think at the end of this, one, stay focused on the
positives.
Stay focused.
Persistence.
Stay focused on the positive. Yes, that's it for me. Stay focused on the positive and just put in the effort into what is yours.
Yep.
And just keep your eyes on that.
Keep moving.
And keep moving.
By all means, make
Yeah.
progress.
Yes.
If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. Can't run, crawl. But by all means, keep moving forward.
So for me, that's been there because I feel like I went through a season whereby, because things are not perfect the way I want a thing to be perfect, and then I'll begin to feel bad about celebrating the aspects that are good. Do you understand? I'll feel like I say, oh no, but I've learned, and I'm learning that, look, no, you stay focused on the positive, while you are putting in effort to improve the other areas that you want improvements.
Sometimes if you're too focused on like areas where you're not doing well or all of that, it's easy to get discouraged. But what you should do is, while being aware of that, like, be aware of what you need to work on, what you need to improve on, and then just focus instead on improving and moving forward, not doing, so yeah, and like we said, just by all means keep moving. That the biggest takeaways for me this year, that God is good, God is faithful. Do you understand? Like, for me, those are the things, really, actually. And He's always there, like, He's always there for you. I don't know. See, that's me. This is my marriage, and somebody else may relate, but yeah, God is always there, like, the forehand. He shows up. He's like Moses Bliss said, He's too faithful to fail. I pray that you guys can relate.
Something else that marriage has helped me to realize is that like, I can be, let me put it like that, I can be selfish. Why I'm saying this is because when I look at you and see how much effort you put in, how you do things for me, and then me, how I'm always taking the larger portion of food.
Hey, last bonds. Male last bonds. I don't know how you do it.
I'm always taking the best one of, no, seriously, There are times where I felt very bad, forget. So marriage has really showed me that, oh my God, there's a lot of work to be done. Sometimes I wonder, like, how do you still love me? Like, basically, there's a lot of work to be done in me as a person, That's just what marriage has helped me to see.
What are we here for? He loved her as Christ loved the church, washing her with water.
Yeah. Marriage just shows you a lot, actually. That's why I would tell people who are not yet married that, look, they feel like marriage is that complete state, like, you get. So I'll tell my advice here. I think that would be it. My advice to people who are not yet married is that put in the work now. Like, you will reap the benefits when you marry. Put in the work in your other relationships. Learn how to connect with people. Marriage is not
basically improve yourself.
Marriage will not shield you from. You get married and you still have to encounter aspects of yourself that you need work with. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Marriage is not something that protects you from all the problems of life or all the aspects of yourself that you have not worked on.
On the contrary, it does the opposite.
Exactly, it does the opposite. It reveals it.
More, put it on display to you.
Yes.
Carry it and put it all up in your face like this.
Bam. Yes. So that's definitely one advice I would give. I would give single people. That's work on your life. Build friendships. Build relationships. Network. Like, connect with people. It will help you when you get married. Your husband will have in-laws, friends. Do you understand? Like, that you also need to connect with and relate with. Do you understand?
Yeah, so once you've developed that skill,
once you develop that skill,
your other previous relationships, it'll be easy.
It will be easier for you. Yeah.
Intertwine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Now, about me, I don't know what to say. What are my takeaways? I feel like I told you my point, then you stole them.
Wow.
Like, you kind of said the things. I'd say, but it's okay if that works for both of us.
Yeah.
Keep working on yourself, because when you get into marriage, both of you will benefit from like your success with yourself. Do you understand? And you realize that whatever you haven't worked on is going to have impact and repercussion on both of you, not just you. Like even your spouse will have to suffer for what you didn't do for yourself. So that's not a good feeling. It's like, no, this person can't be suffering for my sins. No, I'm like, you know. So it's definitely your best interest.
Yeah.